Good evening, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Hope you're having a great day. It's been an interesting day for me, which we can talk about here as we are going. I don't really know what I'm doing tonight on stream again. Part of me wanted to continue down the Apple development road, but I'm tired. I'm a little burned out at the moment, and so for the moment, I'm going to work on just rejuvenating and chatting, that kind of thing. Also, high tech. Hi, Blake. So I decided I'm just going to run around Satisfactory and see if I can find some, summer sloops or something. I'm not doing anything particular. I'm just picking up with wherever. Kind of like when I just ran around Minecraft the other day. Similar concept, different approach, but same idea. So how's everybody's day besides mine? Let's start with that and see where it gets us. Christmas is over, you guys. The trees have stopped producing gifts. Is what we were doing the last time we were here. Let me pull up the achievements for this game, because maybe we'll hunt an achievement or two. So when stream ended last night, I had just gotten an announcement from work that they were canceling school today. And they did in fact cancel school today, and I have to give them credit. I actually agreed with today's cancellation. They had predicted, I think, 6 to 9 inches of snow in our immediate area, and I think I got over 12 overnight. It was to the point where when we were snow blowing with our snowblower, and we don't have that big of one, it was literally going under the snow in some spots because of blowing and drifting. So that was something special. But hey, Smiley, how you doing? Rookie numbers? I mean, they can be rookie numbers. How you doing, Mars? Did this just fall out of the hat? Circuitry? Yeah, 12 inches plus the snow drifts. I agree. Not bad for overnight. And I realize that, those out there that get lake effect snow, that kind of thing, you get way more. But it is what it is. It's more than the people down south. Skull Road, how can I help you, is the question. I'm going to keep storytelling, though. So once I got my driveway all cleared, which was basically the moment the snow stopped going, how do I turn off the lights in your PC when turned on? Depends on what the light is, but the most easy answer is unplug them. If they are attached to something that you can't, and therefore can't unplug them, 5 feet in one snow, that's pretty impressive, AP Mars. I'm not going to dox you or anything, but like, give me a state or a country if you don't mind. I'm just curious. Are you like in the upper northeast, like off the Great Lakes, getting some lake effect snow? Is that what's going on? Are you in Alaska? Black Sharpie overlay. I don't think black upstate New York. Yeah, I can imagine that. How do you unplug them? Well, I assume you had to plug them in when you made your computer, assuming you built your computer. If you didn't build your computer, then that changes things a little bit. I don't know where I'm going with all this. I'm just looking to see what I can do tonight. What if we... I don't know. My brain... to give you an idea how not functional my brain is right now, I'm like looking at these things and being like, that's hard. And it's a video game. That one should be easy. Let's do therapeutic inhaler. Maybe that'll be therapeutic. We need mycelium and some bacon. I should probably first confirm it's not a laptop. Well, he said the lights on my PC. I mean, are you talking about the lights on the laptop? Because that would be odd. At least in my worldview, that would be odd. If the light is connected to your motherboard directly or to your video card directly, there might be an on-off switch in the driver. However, I don't know. Some of the lights on my computer, though, cannot be shut off. I've got at least 2 lights on my motherboard that I would literally have to rip them off the motherboard for them to shut off. I don't think there's any other way to shut them off. So, I mean, Black Sharpie, I could see that potentially working. Maybe. Like, I feel like a black paint might work better. But I have a laptop that I unplugged an RGB strip from because it had one in it. That's... Electrical tape would do the trick. Electrical tape would definitely do the trick. In fact, I'm glad you said that, AP Mars, because I have another project that's probably going to need electrical tape. And I was trying to figure out what solution I was going to use, and electrical tape is the right answer. I hadn't even thought about that. Completely different light source, but still. So after I plowed my driveway, I went and plowed my parents' driveway. And when I left, the roads had not all been fully cleared yet, like my cul-de-sac and the road out of my neighborhood and all those. But the main roads had been. And whenever the roads are that bad, I like to take my really old Mercury Mountaineer that has 4-wheel drive, all-wheel drive stuff, because it works better than my Jeep. Although, you know, the Jeep's not horrible either. It's got 4x4. How is there a slug right here that I've never gotten? Let's not ask questions. So, but this thing's an old clunker, and its tires are a little worn out, which isn't great for snow. But I drove it to my parents', and sadly the plow had come to my parents' house already, and they had plowed it in, so there was like 2 feet of snow at the end of their driveway, which is no problem for like for clearing it, because they've got a nice big, you know, enclosed tractor. Do I not have any ammo? I don't have any ammo. That's depressing. Mycelium? Is that why I'm over here? I'm losing track. But I didn't want to walk all the way up my parents' driveway. And so I took the Mountaineer to the 2-foot pile of snow, and I lost. The Mountaineer got stuck, which was fun. And I could not get it unstuck by driving. In fact, I only made it worse. I got it to fall down a small hill, essentially into a ditch, which was not good because it was, you know, snow in a ditch and all that fun stuff. How did I not have this yet? Did, like, everything respawn? Is that possible? This seems weird. Let's go find something that I know I've gotten. Maybe they added more? I'm making a beat right now for a rap song. Nice. What program do you use? Are you a Fruity Looper? An FL Studio? Or are you I don't know. I don't know music production all that well. I just know little things here and there. Amplify Studio. Okay. I know nothing about Amplify Studio. Is it a good program? Is it better than Fruity Loops? Is it free? Because free is always good. So yeah, then I pulled my truck out of the ditch with the tractor. That was fun. And just as I was about to leave, the power went out, which was a problem for leaving because I'd normally go in and out through the garage. And while I know how to open and close the garage door without power, it's not as easy as it sounds. So that was a little frustrating. So I had to hang around until the power came back on. So, you know, that was my afternoon. And then I got home, and the plow had plowed my driveway in. But my neighbor had actually helped me out a little bit, so that was very wonderful of my neighbor. But that was my day, and now and all throughout that were a whole bunch of emails, surprisingly More emails than I would have expected. But it is what it is. It's a Launchpad Studio, so you can just use it. You can use it for free, though. Well, that's good to know. It's the Launchpads Studio. Okay. I haven't done any music production in a very, very, very long time. Like Windows 98 long time. Back when people still called it Fruity Loops, Fruity Loops. And it was version 1 of Fruity Loops. I like how it's playing Christmas music. My circuit boards have not arrived yet. Otherwise, we'd be soldering tonight. My Apple developer license hasn't unlocked yet. Otherwise, we'd be programming tonight. I looked through my entire Steam library. None of it sounded like I wanted to play it. I don't know. It's been a weird day. Where do I keep bacon? I feel like there's mycelium over here, though. Anybody else do anything cool today? Fun, exciting, creative? Should go get ammo. Do I not have a sword on me either? I got candy canes. Do those count? Where's all my stuff? Let's go back to base. Actually, let's just build what we need right here. Cold. Did you spend a lot of your day outside too, Smiley? Your Linux developer license was unlocked. What does that do? Like, can you work on the core now or something? Did Linus have to personally approve you? All of your day? What took so long, Smiley? You were being sarcastic. I mean, I would assume... I mean, it's not really a license, so I guess that's the sarcasm in the whole thing. Apple versus Linux type stuff. But, I mean, not anyone can commit to the core. Right? I mean, you can suggest things, but Linus better like them. You can submit them, but they're not necessarily... Like, somebody's got to approve them. It was heavy snow. We have a very large driveway, and it was super windy, and there was a lot of snow. You have a snowblower, don't you? I hope. If not, you should have called, and I would have like found a way to put it in the back of my vehicle and brought it over to you. One of my neighbors apparently does not have one. And I don't think we really knew that until today. Snowblower kept freezing up. Oh, did you... I'm just curious, when did you start plowing? Lots of ice in the augers. Did you start like 1 o'clock in the afternoon? 6 a.m.? Well, then I don't know what was going on. Unless it's written in Rust. No, I'm just... I just have a sunblower. It doesn't help. See, normally mine locks up on like any sort of heavy wet snow. Like that's not unusual for me, but today's snow wasn't that wet, at least not at the time I did it, which was like 10 a.m. maybe 9 a.m. I wonder why yours was heavier than mine, maybe. I don't know. It wasn't as windy when I did it either. It had calmed down a little bit. Okay, this is what we want. So we're gonna make 2 of these. We have gotten sun for the first time in... Why are you making me do math? I don't want to do math. Do. Where's the equipment screen? Oh, I found it. Let's put it on there because I don't plan on blowing anything up tonight. That's a long time without sun. Sounds like Seattle to me. Gray and dreary. Oh, do I have to use a chainsaw? I went to all that trouble and I had to use the chainsaw. Which isn't even equipped. Maybe that's why I made the sword, so I could go hit this guy. This is giving me a little bit of energy. Not as much as I was hoping for. I found the mycelia. Now I just need to find the bacon. If I was bacon, where would I be? I feel like the bacon is all over by that one pond. So when you have 4 feet of snow, AP Mars, I mean, I'm assuming you gotta stay on top of it, right? Like, if it gets to 2 feet, you're kind of hosed, right? Also, at how many feet do they cancel school? Also, for those of you that are in Ninja Weasel's community, I didn't check his fan Discord last night. I'm just curious, is everything okay over there? I mean, he skipped his community game night, but I don't know why. 2 to 3 feet or too cold weather, too much ice. Yeah, too cold will do it here too, but that's kind of a exception to the rule. He had a thing? Okay. Makes sense. Eloise wanted me to do community game night tonight. She really enjoyed last Saturday's board game night. I said, you'll just have to wait till Saturday. Because I'm a mean father. Game night was Monday? How did I miss that? Oh, because I raided and then I ran. I raided and ran on Monday. I had to, like, I think go get my daughter or something. do. I'm kind of excited for this evening too, in weird ways. I got sucked into a television show on Apple TV. Apparently it's a series, and it's called Foundation, and it's based on Isaac Asimov's 3-book Foundation series. And I read it as a kid, and I cannot for the life of me remember the only thing I remembered at all about it was Encyclopedia Galactica, and the only reason I remembered that was because it's also in Douglas Adams, but only by reference. But I've been enjoying the series so far. I don't know if anybody else has read Foundation. It's a book. But now I'm going to have to reread the books too, just to figure out how much the television series is like the book. I should make it very clear, it's not entirely family friendly. At least the television series isn't. I don't remember if the book was. I would think if it wasn't family friendly, I wouldn't have been reading it. But came down here thinking I saw something, and I don't know what I thought I saw. I think we've already heard this song. Let's change the radio station. That was the wrong button. Open menu. Change tape. Let's go to that one. You despise reading? Like books, or just in general? Like, the fact that you have to read Twitch chat right now is just driving you bonkers. Because if it's the Twitch chat thing, I apologize. Books. You don't like books. So now I gotta ask the question, what is it you don't like about books? Do you not have... I'm gonna ask the question this way. Do you not have a mind's eye? Or were you just forced to read a whole bunch of literature growing up that you didn't enjoy, and now you have an aversion to all books? Where is all the bacon? Do. You just had to read a lot? And it burned you out? Like, are we talking like you had to read a lot for school, or you had to read a lot because, I don't know, your parents made you, or what was leading to having to read a lot? And then I'm going to ask, have you read Harry Potter? I don't know why inherently I always ask, have you read Harry Potter? It's one of those, whenever I get into a conversation about books. No, you have not read Harry Potter. Have you seen the movies? This conversation's going all nowhere. Movies, yes, but you don't remember much? I haven't. The only one that I have really liked is The Hunger Games. Okay, and that's a book series and a movie series that I have somehow avoided. Hey, Cassandra. How's it going? So Smiley doesn't remember them all that well either. Movies, yes. You've seen all the movies? All 8 movies, and you don't remember much of them? That's impressive. Because generally, if I watch 8 movies of something, it's pretty hard to do things with. I can understand the dyslexia thing. Not personally, but that would make reading hard and frustrating. So the reason I specifically ask about Harry Potter, and it's interesting, AP Mars, that you say you love the movies, but you haven't read the books. And here's how it works for me now. I don't typically go out of my way to read a book anymore. When I was younger, I read every night. Part of it was my parents encouraged me to. Part of it was the only thing I was really allowed to do after like 8:30 p.m. Wasn't allowed to play those video games late into the night. You gotta read on the computer. Ooh. Like, does an e-reader qualify? That's like a computer in the form of a book. But, typically what happens for me is I'll watch a movie or a TV series or something that I know is based on a book or a book series, and I get frustrated with I'm gonna call them plot holes, but I don't think most people would consider them plot holes. They're pieces of information that were left out that were maybe not relevant to the plot, but were things I like. Backstory. I like to know backstory a lot. And so for me, picking up a book that's based that the movie is based on will often fill in a lot of backstory detail. And the only reason I'm willing to tolerate the backstory detail in that format is because I've already have like a... Ooh, yeah, audiobooks works too for that. This is true. Audiobooks actually work really well for it. And when I say reading a book, listening to an audiobook would qualify in my mind. I realize that they are two very different things, but... The problem I have with audiobooks is I get hung up on the readers' voices. However, I absolutely love audiobooks that have been done like made for movie style, or made for radio style, made for, I don't know what the term is. Dramatized books. Audiobooks. I don't even know how to find them. That's how little I know of their existence. Radio play. There's a I remember, I don't even know what this radio show is. I know it's like a Christian radio show, but that's about all I know. There's a Focus on the Family version of C.S. Lewis's The Chronicles of Narnia, the 7 books, all done with voices and stuff. And oh man, I listened to that series probably, I'm gonna guess every other year, because I enjoy it so much. It's just a good audiobook series. But there aren't a lot of those. I wonder if there's a Harry Potter one of those. Now I'm gonna have to find out. It's called The Movies, probably. If you're wondering what I'm doing in this video game, I'm just going to take the moment to remind you that my channel is extremely boring. And at the moment, I'm not really doing anything other than chatting. I am looking for bacon, but I'm not doing it in any reasonable way. So if I find the bacon, I will have succeeded. And I found the bacon. See, this is what happens when you don't pay attention. Eventually the bacon shows up. Due to accelerated reader, by the way. Nice. I haven't heard that term in a while now. Can I kill bees with a sword? Let's try. Hey, I can. Leave me alone, bees. Maybe I need to eat the bacon. I don't know how much bacon I needed. Hey, guess what? The Veldt is a great audiobook. Okay, I will check that out. You're watching some of Disney? Oh, that... I would love to see that if you're willing to share it. And here's the thing. I don't need to see the people. I just want to see the park. Man, I can't imagine, like, do you know what year, roughly, that it's from? Because I can't imagine... I'm going to assume that it was a high 8 video recorder, so probably mid-90s? Or was it a VHS? Did they bring a literal VHS camera? No? Okay, I was going to say. Can you just imagine walking around with a big VHS? No, film? Wait, what? It was a film camera? $1974 film camera? Footage of Disney? Man, you need to get that footage. I mean, you don't need to, but you really should put that footage like on archive.org. That's like historical. I mean, I don't know how many people would watch it besides me, but that's cool. Film camera brought to the park. That's phenomenal. I mean, that's before Epcot opened. That's the original park. Oh man, I'd love to see Tomorrowland footage. I'd love to see the hub. I'd love to see, I'm just trying to think what all there is to see from that era. Splash Mountain wouldn't have existed at that point. Oh, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea would have. That would be some amazing footage. Especially since it would have been relatively new. The parade would have been ridiculous looking if you got footage of that. Because the costumes weren't up to snuff. That would have been like scary Mickey costume. Oh, man. That's awesome, though. Treasure that. In more ways than one. Treasure the family. See, I need to take you to Disney at some point. And then you can cross-compare your footage with what it looks like now, because it has all changed. All of it. Main Street has a building where there wasn't a building. The color of the castle is now more pink instead of gray. Yeah, not your footage. I'm with you. I'm with you. I mean, I'm going to guess that, you know, well, I mean, if the person was an adult that shot it in 1976, the sad part about this is I'm guessing that person's probably not alive anymore. Could be. It'd be like 80 though, wouldn't they? 80 or 90? Maybe. That's really cool though. 60 months, that's 5 years. Speaking of 5 years, we are 12 days away, I believe, from 5 years in a row of streaming. Which is interesting because that means you were subbed before... I wonder if it's just like the 30-day... I'd be curious. Because I'm assuming you re-upped your sub when I started streaming again. And didn't have it going before that. So maybe there's like some crossover in the timeline? I don't know. Or I suppose it says you're subscribed for 1 month at the start of that 1 month. Yeah, we have not missed a day in almost 5 years. Almost. Whatever the episode number is how many days we have not missed. Yeah, so whatever the hat says. 1815. 1,815 days of never missing a stream. And all of those streams are at least like 42 minutes long. I think the shortest one is like 42 minutes. I think. I'd have to go look it up. Maybe I'll release all the data again at year 5 so people can be like, data. And then delete the file because it's a silly download. That was the parking lot stream? No, episode 1 was Minecraft with Dad Season 3. It begins. The parking lot stream came 3 months later. 4 months later? Oh, the shortest episode? It was. I don't know if it still is. I think there was a Disney World episode that ended up being shorter. Make a 24-hour stream at 5 years. We did a 20-hour stream at episode 1000, or it was a 1,000-minute stream. We did that there. That's the longest stream at the moment. 24-hour stream might happen at 2000. Might. That's assuming that I get to 2,000. How much bacon do we have? How do I get to the bacon screen? Where's bacon? I only have 3 bacon. I think I need more. It's not enough. Let's go back this way. I don't know why. Can't stop until 4,200. You know, when I got to 1,000, people said can't stop till 2,000. So, last Friday at game night, this joke isn't that funny, but I thought it was funny. We were sitting there, and I don't remember how the conversation got to me uttering this line. And I want to make this clear. It was a joke, and it was said among friends. I said something along the lines of, and of course that's when I'll leave my wife. And then my best friend replied to me saying, "Notice how he said he wouldn't give up stream." And to which I said, "Why do you think my wife left me?" And then he said, "There's a big difference between your wife leaving you because you won't stop streaming and you leaving her." And I'm like, "Are you sure?" Maybe it wasn't that funny. It was funny in the moment to me. My wife was suggesting, though, that stream should end soon. But yeah, if you know everybody involved, it makes a little more sense. No, my wife is okay with it. She's not overly thrilled that I will be streaming from Disney. But I've got a plan. I've got a plan this time. We're gonna have 5 streams with Mickey. That's we're gonna go for a walk with Mickey. That's entirely the excitement of the stream. Just saying. We might bring Eloise too. We'll see. You know, Ninja, I gotta say, I'm impressed that your wife lets you stream 5 nights a week too. And again, I'm using that word let very loosely. But you take nights off when it's probably important to. Oh, 4. Sorry, 4 nights a week. I forget. And this week it's like 3. How long till you start? 13 minutes? Do. Siri's talking to me, but I don't know why. She found something on the web. There's nothing on the screen. What in the world was that? Was it not Siri? I found this. Oh, did it put it on my... Oh, it put it on my phone. It was... Or watch. Why does it feel like Saturday today? Because you got to stay home? And yesterday was a school day? I don't know. I'm gonna bet tomorrow is just gonna be off the walls at my schools. We'll be 2 days away from spring break, which is always kind of weird anyway. But throw in the fact that they got a day off today, it's gonna be... The kids are just gonna be weird. I already know that I have at least one broken screen showing up first thing tomorrow morning. I don't know how these kids break their screens like at an average rate of like 2 per day right now. It's insane this year. They just don't treat those things with respect. No respect for technology anymore. One day, due to weather. But I'm with you. Do not dox yourself. It's very important. You never know what I might do with that information. Despite the fact that my entire identity, don't go looking for it, but my entire identity is available to you if you try hard enough. I even put my credit card numbers out online just so people can find them. I mean, I store them in places like Amazon, but they're there. If you try hard enough, you can find them. Oh no. You know, I've come to the conclusion that privacy is an illusion, and as long as you accept the fact that nothing's private, your life goes a lot better. And then you just have to accept the fact that some people aren't good people, and, you know, it is what it is. Life will go on. There will always be helpers to help out with whatever goes wrong. Particularly when whatever that is, you know, goes wrong for me. What's my SSN? It's like a 8-digit number. You know, SSNs aren't really meant to be secure. I can guess your SSNs within 1 million tries. Or, million? 10 million tries? 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 99 million tries. Within 100 million tries, I can guess your SSN. And I can write a program to send you all of those guesses very, very quickly. Wait, are there really only 100 million SSNs? Am I wrong? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 9 digits, so I guess that's a billion. Take a little longer. It used to be region-based. Supposedly it's not anymore. Supposedly they added some additional security to eliminate the region-basedness of it. But if you're older than, say, me, or a little younger than me, then yes, it is region-based. So it makes it even easier. 100 trillion tries. I mean, that should be really easy. If it takes you 100 trillion tries, you're doing something wrong. I mean, that's true. That would make it harder. Base 64 SSN. I don't think they'll call it an SSN. I think they will call it something else, and it'll be like a universal citizen ID number. And, you know, I don't, or maybe they'll call it voter ID. That might be the other version of it. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't want to get political, but I figure it's got to exist at some point. And at some point, they'll like put it on a microchip and like dog tag us when we're born. Because why not? It just sounds like a good idea. In fact, I've been considering doing it to myself. I think it would be absolutely hilarious if I cloned the RFID tag that is in my Magic Band, and the next time I went to a Disney park, I just held my hand up to the reader because I embedded it in my hand, and then the cast member would be like, how did you, and I'd be like, there's a Magic Band embedded in my hand. and you want to hear what's really scary? There's a company out there that makes that. You can, in fact, they don't even do it the way that I would do it. I would clone it onto something that's like small and meant to go in my hand. They do it by sterilizing the actual RFID chip located in the Magic Band. So you have to send them the Magic Band. They take the RFID chip out of it, they sterilize it and get it into a form factor that works, and then they stick it back into your hand. Yeah, exactly. I am the Magic Band. I am. In fact, Disney's been telling me over and over again that I am the magic. So it just makes sense. I'm weird. Yeah, it's just an NFC microchip. It's not hard. You can get them. They exist. Put it in my hand. Bam. In fact, I even have one I could use that's not being used because I ripped it off the Magic Band. Good old days. I don't think I have what I need to blow this up. We're going to try, though. I don't think that was the right thing to do. They could have all blown up on me. Oh, that does work. That was kind of boring. Doot. NFC's, at least in my worldview, kind of boring tech. It's fun, and I do have a small project where I want to learn how to read NFC at a distance, but it's not fun enough for me to actually do it. You want to put a card chip, like a credit card chip? So you can just tap it from your wrist? That should be really easy to do. I mean, I think I could do that with a piece of tape and a scissors. Actually, now that I say that, I could embed... You could put that in your wrist. That could be kind of fun. Then it wouldn't just be Disney World where I could do it. I could do it at, like, grocery stores. And people would be like, why are you holding your hand? And then they'd be like, oh, How did you do that? It's a magic trick. It'd be really hard to steal my credit card or lose it. And by really hard, I mean they could probably still clone it, but eh. Yeah. Take it a step further. You ask the question, do you accept wrists? What? I could imagine, though, that you might have a small problem trying to pay at a restaurant, right? Like, you go there and be like, yeah, I'm going to need to go to the back counter there and tap my wrist. What if you could get the magnetic stripe embedded in a fingernail? It's probably not long. Like, you probably can't condense it to be that short. Then you could, oh, you could do all 5 fingers. Run your fingernails through the reader. For some reason, it doesn't seem practical. But at the same time, it does sound oddly fun. And if I made YouTube videos, it would probably get views. I had a question for Tech about making YouTube videos. What was it? You can tap my wrist. You just need a mechanical hand, something like Data or whatnot. You can just detach it and reattach it. What was the question I had for Tech? Oh, it was a good one too. I was like, I'm gonna ask him that tonight on stream. I had it earlier today. What was I was thinking about. Oh, this guy's not dead. Oh no, I'm gonna die. Serpentine, serpentine. It's not awesome, just old. It might be awesome to me. I'm pulling it up now. I didn't have Discord open. Go figure. You have to point the camera at the thing you want to film. Oh, actually, that was helpful, Tech. That actually unlocked my brain. Okay, here. See, now, hold on. I'm going to put this on the screen. It doesn't say that anymore. And now, they don't say Magic Kingdom 2. It's probably still the same boat, the same ferry. So this is the ferry that you can take to get from the parking lot to the park. They definitely don't wear this uniform anymore. This is definitely 1970s sailor uniforms, not modern uniforms. So that's cool. No, it's the monorail. This is not the monorail. This is 100% the Admiral Joe Fowler. Hold on a sec. I'm going to prove it. Okay, maybe not Joe Fowler. I have the wrong one. But I will prove my point anyway. Because it's the... I know exactly what you're looking at. You can't stump me with this stuff. Look familiar? See right here, those are the steps in the background. So that's these steps. Okay, that gate right there is not, this is not the right dock. The other dock has those gates. Where it currently says Magic Kingdom 2, it now says Admiral Joe Fowler because they renamed the boats after people. So that's funny though. So you just gave me a fact that I did not know, that the boats had a name other than the admirals before it. Ramp sign. Yeah, you were in the traffic and ticket center. In fact, where you were right before this was where the photo of you was taken. The one that you uploaded to Discord. That photo was taken where you would have been right before this. See, here's what we need to do. We need to go to Discord, and I will narrate your video for you and tell you everything about it. So bleh. That would be funny. I should just try to recreate your video. But yes, the monorail and the ferry boat are right next to each other. They are both, those are the two options that you have to get from the Traffic and Ticket Center to the Magic Kingdom. Every now and then, there's the option to take a bus, but it is not normally an option. One of the other transportation services have to be down for buses to be an option. Boom! Why does that one not blow up? Does this one blow up? It does. Sorry. I hear a shiny thing, though. Oh, it does blow up. Kind of. I hear the orb. I just don't see the orb.
Listen to the rhythm.
Oh, it's not a Summer Sloop. It's a Mercer Sphere. I mean, everything about it tells me it's here. It's talking to me. Why would I not be able to blow that rock up? Well, I blew the rock up. What have we learned? The sphere's right there. It's time to light the music. It's time to light the... That's not the lyrics. I feel like I'm not doing a good job looking for the bacon. We are finding things, though, so I guess that's something. I can scan for bacon? I can. I did not know that. It does seem more practical. Oh, yeah, look at that. There's bacon right down there. Ooh, a doggo. Oh, there's bacon that way. I feel like I should be able to see the bacon. On the other side, I think. There's some bacon. Do. look like mushrooms, but they aren't bacon. I still don't know how much bacon I need. Oh, but this is a good path. I should just follow the... Who put all these power poles down already? It's brilliant. They, like, follow the bacon. Did I go on a bacon hunt before? And forget about it? Look at all this bacon. It, like, grew up along the power lines. The only explanation here is that I went looking for bacon before. I don't see how any other explanation makes sense. Do. Oh, that sounds bad. It's like a chain. You can just go from one to the next. I'm up to 25. I think I can go home now. If only I knew where home was. Oh, there it is. Oh my gosh. Just about spilled my water. You know, Mars mentioned that they were drinking cola earlier. I had a Pepsi today. I miss Pepsi. I miss it so much. I am very, very tempted to go back to one a day and hope that it doesn't turn back into 6 or 7 a day. Sweetened with stevia. So it's a diet or a zero. Can we get... Trying to pick the best path through here. Ba-dum-bum-bum. Here, now we can trigger the base. 5, 4, 3, 2. Apparently it doesn't do it on beat. Kind of annoying. Yeah, I timed that one better. Fix it. Doot, 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 doot. I'm like waiting for more cool Disney photos. My shirts didn't arrive yet. I ordered some shirts as part of my Disney project, and I'm pretty sure they were supposed to come yesterday. And they didn't, and I'm pretty sure when I checked the tracking today, they said they were coming today. And then they didn't. I'm blaming the weather. Therapeutic inhaler completed. Please choose a new node. Okay.
Therapeutic inhaler recipe unlocked. It smells like fried breakfast-induced cardiac arrest, but surprisingly, it restores you to full health.
I thought the other one restored me to full health. Or maybe they were the same thing. Okay, now we need the other kind of food. Need berries. There's generally some berries right over here, I think. Eh, maybe not. Can we use the scanner for that too? Wrong button. Wrong button again. Berries. Do 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 do. The impression they're beneath us. There's some. Do, 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 do. Leave me alone, bees. Should be able to visually see this. Where is it? Oh, right there. A lot of birds. Do. Hey, there's some. Really bad at spotting these things. Oh, it's right there. Gosh. Do do do. Okay. None within range. Oh, something's in range. Nothing but like a nice chill walk around the park. Let's not go that way. Let's not go that way. No power poles. I only need 5? Really should pay more attention to how many I need. Too much effort. Let's go see how many we need. Do. One of the ones we already harvest regrow? It did. That was fast. How many points do we have? Just out of curiosity. $452. And it spikes every now and then, probably whenever it generates one of the bigger things. It's a very nice, chill way to unwind at the end of a day. I am enjoying this. It was just 5.
Vitamin inhaler recipe unlocked. Not only does it restore your health, it also acts as a preventative supplement against scurvy and other shortage-induced conditions. Unfortunately, it does not improve aesthetics, but Pioneer helmets are built to withstand extreme circumstances.
Okay, let's see if we can figure out how to make some cloth. Fabric. Isn't there another way to make fabric? Like... is it Q? Nope. It is... H? Nope. V? Nope. M? B? O? What's O? Nope. N. Fabric. Yep. And then this is what? Water and resin make fabric? Water and resin. Where are we making resin? Should use the teleporter. Nah, it's too expensive. Bum bum bum. What other things should we chat about this evening? Anything? Are we out of topics? Did we burn through them all? Oh, I never asked the question that I remembered that Tech was going to have me, or that I was going to ask Tech. Here was my question. Do you think your videos would have done as well if you were not visible in them? That was going to be my question. And now I'm going to go look at the photo. This is a fun game for me. Nothing about this looks familiar. Live animals at Magic Kingdom? I mean, this feels like Como Zoo. With a very elaborate set. Is it SeaWorld? I mean, yeah, it could be SeaWorld. I didn't know SeaWorld was open back then. Okay, now I gotta Google that. Not that I care about SeaWorld's history, but... SeaWorld opened December 15th, 1973. If you had told me that SeaWorld was that old, I would not have guessed it. However, I guess it doesn't entirely surprise me. Whale something? Yeah, it was probably Shamu. The killer whale. Yeah, SeaWorld and me are not friends. I only showed my face in 2 videos before my first video that got over 1 million views, and did not show myself in that. I don't intentionally show myself in the videos, it's just easier from a production standpoint. I only showed my face in 2 videos before my first video that got over 1 million views. And did not show myself in that. Have you... I'm going to rephrase the question. Have you noticed a discernible viewership impact between videos where you're visible and videos where you're not? That's not something you tell me? Okay. I was just curious. So, as has come up often on this chat thing, I was daydreaming about having a YouTube channel again today. Like, one that doesn't just replay all of these boring episodes. And I was realizing that there's the option to do it without showing this. And I was debating whether or not that was a good idea or a bad idea. Do 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 do. I mean, I suppose if you show your face, that increases the likelihood of being recognized. You know, on the street by somebody random. And them wanting your autograph because they saw you on YouTube. Which, let's be honest, that's everybody's dream. Polymer resin. Polymer resin comes off of oil. This is not oil. I'm in the wrong place. Well, you're not wrong. In terms of hiding my identity here, that is true. Obviously, this is the persona. And I'm not necessarily suggesting that I'm trying to hide the identity from one thing to another, because I would obviously draw the line from this stream probably to my YouTube channel. But if I wanted to make it harder to draw the line in the other direction, that gets a little bit more intriguing. Like if I never gave out my name, never gave out any of that stuff. Again, not that big of a deal, but in my already public persona. Especially when I don't care about privacy. But, you know, it's not... Hiding my identity should not be necessary. I'll say it that way. It's consideration, but it should not be necessary. If I were to do it. But I probably won't do it. Which brings us back to why do I even have the... Why do I daydream? That's black powder. We really don't have any of this stuff around here? Okay, so what does it take to get it? Fuel. What's this supposed to be making? Plastic with the pink stuff. Oh, I didn't actually cancel it. So if it's using fuel, fuel's right here. So this should be making... But it's not making that type of fuel. It's got to be off of the oil, which is all the way back here. Let's break this, because that's what we do. Do-do-do. You know what I think my favorite thing about the way this is going at the moment, in terms of just randomly playing Satisfactory, I really love the fact that I haven't had to go looking for resources at all because of the void stuff. Interesting. Do. Okay, then we're going to take this and we're going to connect it to the power. Maybe. As with all my things having 4 things already. Seriously, who built this place? I know the answer. I know it was me. So now we have power. So then to make the fabric, we need to add water into this mix. This is my most professional build ever. And then we tell it to make fabric. And now we have our first fabric production. Almost. Just need a place to put the stuff. Logistics. Why are we in factory? Because an hour and 23 minutes ago, I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do, and my brain didn't want to do anything. So I came here to run around and do nothing. And I've gotten a little bit productive in the sense that I'm achievement hunting, but for all practical purposes, I'm still doing nothing. So, how's it going? That's what Rocket League is for? I mean, yeah, Rocket League probably would have been a decent choice. And if you had been here at the time to suggest it, I probably would have done that. Maybe. Why? There we go. But you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. A little bit of achievement hunting. A little bit of feeling like, have I beaten Satisfactory? Yes. This game has been beaten. At least the storyline. I don't have all the achievements. Have you beaten it, Captain Z-Move? Do-do-do. That is the bar from which we measure everything, right? Have you beaten it? If not, beat it. Oh, cool. And then he told you to leave him alone. No? How many times? How many times have I beaten it? I think it depends on how you count. I'm gonna say once. And only once. Because it's kind of a weird... I mean, the story is relatively a new addition. I've 4-packaged a few times. I don't know. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else worth mentioning. Well, and then I did a whole bunch of speed runs to 1 package. That I've done a lot, but that's not beating the game either. Except it's the objective when you're speed running to 1 package. I've done 2 package a number of times too. We used to speed run this game for funsies. Maybe we should do some Godot on stream. And then Liam can help me out. Because it's been like 3 years since I've done Godot. When Liam gets a game published to the Steam store before I do, I'm going to be so proud of him and so sad about myself. Just saying. How many do I need? I think I needed 125. So we'll just stand here for a minute. Ba-dum-bum-bum. 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 Maybe I should go back to Apple Dev. That means I need an original idea. Does it? Have you seen the App Store? Doot-doot-doot-doot. 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 Compiling to an exe, you can do that at any time. You can do that while it still says hello world. Doot-doot-doot-doot. Doot-doot-doot-doot. You had to have compiled games when you were doing Unreal stuff at some point. Maybe not to, like, final product. Really? You've never... Yes, you've made them whether or not you know you've made them. Because that's what... Yeah, all of... I mean... Yeah, I was gonna say, well, I'm trying to think, though. Can you play... No, it's got to compile first, doesn't it? I was gonna say, can you play, but you can. At least in... I don't know about Unreal, but at least in... Actually, I'm 100% certain you have, Rich and Cheesy. I'm 100% certain you've compiled to an EXE before. I know you have. You absolutely did it in VB class at MSA. Unless you failed that class. Nope, not computer club. VB class with Mr. T. You absolutely did it. Be funny if I could go find it, but that data is long gone. At least long gone from that side of things. But no, it was not computer club. It was... You did, because, like, Jarvis had his Russian roulette game. I had my... I'm trying to remember what yours was. Was it a card game? I'm trying to remember what I did. Was that the class I had KidPix? That I made my own version of KidPix? Oh my gosh. What did we all had to make something, and he had us turn in the EXEs. As part of it. Oh my gosh, what was it though? I think that was the class I made KidPix. I made like a paint program. It's funny that like the one thing I remember was Jarvis's Russian roulette game though. Yeah, there was that too. I'm trying to remember your game. What did you make? For some reason, I think you made a card game. Like, it might have been something simple like War, but I think it was a card game. I might be imagining that. It's all kind of blurry. Trying to remember what other people made too. Yeah, but we had limited... I mean, we had an extremely limited skill set at that point, right? Like, the KidPix stuff I was doing was me playing around with graphics. And I had, relatively speaking, significantly more time in the computer lab than you because I was there for like an hour before school every day and 2 hours after school. Because I didn't want to go home because I had no internet. But like, do you remember, I'm just curious, do you remember Jarvis's Russian roulette game? I mean, that was nothing more than a button push, essentially, that did like a random 1 in 6 thing. It was not very complicated. Most of the things were just a button push and some basic if statements. Because the way they taught that class, we went through some basics at the beginning, and then he gave us like a sheet that had like 10 different programming things, and then the 11th thing was build your own game. And like I know some people did tic-tac-toe. I don't think you did tic-tac-toe though. Although maybe you did, because maybe you wrote like an AI. But I remember Ben Sisley's tic-tac-toe. I don't remember yours. And writing a lot of if logic. What did you make? And I feel like there was somebody, and maybe this was you, maybe this is why this is in my head. I feel like there was somebody who was making something using DBase, or one of the databases in Visual Basic, and made like a magic card, something or another, like inventory system. But I don't think that was you. But maybe it was. I should dig out my files from then and see if I, for some magical reason, have a copy of it. I doubt I do, though. All the data from 1999 disappeared in a crash. Why won't it just grab the material from the thingy? It's funny how all that stuff blurs away. We didn't do any EXEs in art class. Did you really not do an EXE in physics? In game programming physics? That surprises me too. Although that was probably in Java, so they were probably compiling to classes. So maybe that doesn't surprise me. It was all Visual Python. Oh. That I don't remember. Well, I wasn't in that class, so why would I remember it? I only remember what you told me from lunch. And even then, that's going to be like gap knowledge. I think it's funny that I remembered you took that class.
Fixit appreciates your willingness to descend rapidly to perform your duties, but
Do-
damaging Fixit property is a breach of contract and will have unpleasant consequences. Improve descent efficiency
Well,
by combining
in
the
fairness,
forces of gravity
deploying
with a
can
parachute.
be a slightly different terminology too. So one of the more annoying things, annoying maybe isn't the right word, you don't always compile it into like a single exe, right? So like building an installer and bringing along all your libraries and stuff like that, that's a little bit more advanced. Although things like C# make that painfully easy now. I don't know about Unreal. Part of me is now wanting to launch Unreal and compile my game and see what happens. Because I know you can run... Not Unreal. The other one. Unity. I know you can run the games without compiling them. Without fully compiling them. I don't know if I've ever... I'm trying to think if I've ever actually compiled a Unity game. I don't know if I've ever gotten far enough to feel like I needed to. If I've ever needed to send it to somebody. But I'm scrolling back and forth as if I'm going to find the thing that I need, and I'm in the completely wrong screen. You compiled a Unity game to the point you ran it on a PS Vita before? Does that compile? That doesn't compile to a EXE though, does it? Although I guess I don't know. I have no knowledge of how the Vita worked. None. I've never read up on it. I know you put a disc, at least in the version that maybe that wasn't the Vita. I don't know. I never really caught on. Version of an EXE. I've done compiling to a Game Boy Advanced game, to a cartridge, binary file.
That the mycelia possess
But
sentience. Don't worry, we have been given permission to harvest and repurpose their remains.
you remember the things before and after? Yeah. Man, I have a lot of memories from that computer lab. A lot of good memories. Okay, we have one more left, and I don't see us getting that without a lot of effort tonight, but maybe. I had a realization the other day. Like there are some things in my memory that timeline-wise like to get out of whack. Like I like to think about web development as being something I did while I was in high school, and I did some, but I really didn't like go nuts with it until, well, so this is where it gets weird. I like to think it was something I was doing in 9th grade, and I know I was doing it as far back as 6th grade, but I didn't really get into it till 11th grade. Like just weird things like that, where things like, when did I get my domain name? And when did I, all this stuff. And yeah, I don't know. Which brings me back to, I still haven't figured out what I'm going to do with vblog.com. That's a whole nother thing. Maybe that should be the YouTube channel. Welcome to vblog. Sounds stupid. Or maybe it's just when I say it like that, it sounds stupid. Can I look for mushrooms? Not that kind of mushroom. Nope. It's probably like the 10th time this song is played tonight. Jukebox just does not have as much music. I'm good with it though. So now my brain is wandering into something Tech just said a moment ago. So Tech, what did you compile earlier today? If you don't mind sharing. Ba-dum-bum-bum. Ba-dum-bum-bum. Program that pads a file with interleaved blanked data. That sounds like a way of building an image for a floppy disk. A hard sectored floppy disk. Is that what it was for? He says as he takes a stab in the dark. No. Correct. Counteract an emulator thinking there's a second side to the image when there isn't. Cool. I don't think I would have guessed the reason, but it's cool. Cool little utility. You know, my brain just wandered into another thought. Since Liam happened to say that for that he would have to have an original idea, Rich and Cheesy, you should consider loaning him one of your board game ideas and have him turn it into a video game. I mean, I'm not saying that, you know, it's a perfect idea, but it's not a bad one. Then the two of you can work together on the game concept. That's what I want to do with Link. I want Link to do the art and a little bit of the concept, and I'll do the programming. Because he has no interest in programming. Actually, I should have Link team up with Liam. you say that rich and cheesy, but in the scheme of things, board games compared to, say, a 2D platformer, in my mind, are board games are infinitely easier to program. Mostly because they're turn-based. But making it an interesting game, that might be a little bit more difficult of concept. Plus, you might have to deal with AI and stuff like that. But if you're going to make it such that they can play solo. But physics helps a lot with board games? No, I mean with like regular games? I would have personally, I would have a much easier time coding a board game than I would any board game than I would coding pretty much anything else. Oh yeah, not having to program physics. Exactly. Using a modern engine, physics isn't an issue. I mean, that's true, and you're 100% correct that modern engines make programming a lot of things really, really easy. But I mean, let's just go back to early DOS games to start. I mean, again, getting all the way to the Steam store is a slightly different game. But if we're like talking DOS games, half the games I owned for DOS were board games. Because it was far easier to make those board games for DOS than it was to make anything else. I mean, it is shocking how many DOS board games I probably own. Somewhere. Yay! We finished a node tonight, you guys.
Gas Nobelisk unlocked. Chase away creatures with a damaging cloud of gas. Note, also harms unwary pioneers.
We made more progress tonight than I thought we'd make. But I don't know, maybe a 2D platformer is a bad example, but that's a lot of level design, that's a lot of artwork, that's a lot of 3D artwork, that's a lot of Blender, that's a lot of stuff. Whereas if you've already designed the board game and you've already made the pieces for it in real life, translating those pieces to 2D artwork, yeah, that's some work. But the finite state machine that pretty much every board game boils down to is why it tends to be pretty easy to program. It's also why Board Game Arena can reuse the same assets over and over again, coding-wise. Because it's all kind of the same idea. I mean, a board game that you might have trouble programming is like something that requires a fast human movement. Like, that would be a little bit harder, I would imagine. Maybe not. That's why I think it's so silly that it's going to take 2 years to build the Ark board game. I mean, I guess there are a lot of different cards. But even then, Magic the Gathering... But... it's not that easy. It's not bad. I looked into it as well. It's not... don't get me wrong. They have a decent barrier to entry, and it's... but it wasn't all that bad. I'd still rather code it by hand in whatever language I want to program in. But I'm not going to tackle another... we'll save another branch for another night where I'm super, super bored. What is this? End of day 43. Sure. We'll just call it that. Why not? Exit to desktop. Ah! That's not the button. Yeah, and that's okay. I'm with you on that. If we're talking about spinning up something that the engines are designed for, like, I mean, half the time they ship with a demo that acts as like a 3D shooter or something like that, because you're not wrong. They are designed for that. However, I would argue the next step of turning that into a game and turning it, as Liam put into, or put out there as a unique idea on a game that somebody else would actually want to play, I'm saying that that would take a lot more work than getting a board game to something that somebody would want to play. Again, maybe I'm out of my mind, but I think there are I've looked. I mean, I'll use this as the example. I have a number of games on here that took all of could probably have been programmed in a day. They are that simplistic of a game loop, and they would be a board game style game. So, I mean, I don't know. I guess it's to each his own. My point is, you have a lot of concepts that he could implement, and it could be interesting for him to implement. So, I'm just saying. Good father-son teamwork there, if you wanted. That don't have any art? Yeah, the young are better at that. Call Link. Get Link to do art for your game, too. It could work. Maybe. And actually, on that same note, I'm now tempted to go after my cousin for some art, too, that I had never considered doing because... Where did I put it? It's laying around here somewhere. I've seen it like multiple times today, and it's suddenly not here. Oh, they're over here. I mean, I'm in love with this vector right here. This was something that Nikki did, and did it off of a photo from a sign. It's simplistic, and yet it's so well done for a piece of vector art. So, just little things like that you got to find the right people, and if they can make the art you need, all the better. But otherwise, use AI, right? Because it's magic. In any case, we're going to wrap it up there. We'll go check out Ninja Weasel Plays tonight. Thanks for hanging out in this entirely random stream. You guys re-energized me after what was a really long day. I'm now going to go hopefully watch Foundation and get that finished off before my Apple subscription expires, so I don't have to renew it. And then I can go back to Paramount and watch all of Star Trek again. And I should make Liam do that at the same time, just so we can have a conversation about it every other Friday. So maybe I got to get him a Paramount gift card. In any case, on that note, if I don't talk to you between now and when you leave, have safe travels, Rich and Cheesy. And I'll wish myself safe travels too. We're not leaving yet. We still got 5 more days. But in any case, we're going to go raid Ninja Weasel Plays. That's his name. And hopefully have a good night over there. Appreciate you guys all again. With that, stay healthy, stay safe, and until next trip, see ya.